Nike CEO Elliott Hill confirms that Caitlin Clark is working on her signature shoe and logo, and that it is set to come out. It's about bleeping time.
Did you hear the news? After months of relentless pressure, boycotts, and a whole lot of angry tweets from Caitlin Clark fans, Nike has finally decided to do the obvious, announce the highly anticipated Caitlin Clark signature shoe. Nike CEO Elliott Hill confirms that Caitlin Clark is working on her signature shoe and logo that is set to be released. Yes, you heard that right. The Indiana Fever Guard, who's been lighting up the WNBA since her debut last year, is finally getting the recognition she deserves. And let's be honest, it's about time. Stay tuned until the end, guys. I will reveal the whole story behind Clark's signature shoes, including the statements of Nike's CEO and what he has revealed about new shoes. So, let's get started.
Nike struck absolute gold when they signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal.
Caitlin Clark has been a sensation since day one. And let's not forget, she has set countless scoring records. But despite all that, Nike somehow managed to overlook her. I mean, how do you ignore a generational talent like Caitlin Clark? It's like ignoring the sun because you're too busy staring at a flashlight.
She's doing work, and we're sitting here still waiting to see Caitlin Clark in the sneaker.
Let's take a moment to understand the irony. Caitlin Clark has been busy breaking records, selling out arenas, and bringing a whole new audience to women's basketball. Yet somehow, she was still waiting for her own signature shoe, while her contemporaries like Paige Bueckers and Sabrina Ionescu were already rocking theirs. I mean, Paige Bueckers' Nike shoe hit the shelves last month, and she's still in college.
What the fuck are Caitlin Clark's agents or agent? What is she doing? We're still waiting on a goddamn sneaker. Hey, a college girl got a sneaker before Caitlin Clark. No, 2 college girls got a sneaker before Caitlin Clark. What are they doing?
Meanwhile, Caitlin, who's been dominating the WNBA, was left twiddling her thumbs. It's like winning a gold medal in college, but still having to sit with the kids during Thanksgiving dinner.
Weird Easter this year.
But don't worry, Caitlin fans, the wait is almost over. Clark is set to join the elite ranks of active WNBA players with their own Nike signature shoe, lining up alongside Sabrina Ionescu and Aja Wilson, as we have the latest scoop from none other than Nike's CEO about her shoes. The Nike CEO Elliott Hill has recently dropped the news that Clark's signature shoe is in the works, and honestly, it feels like Nike just got slapped back to reality by the sheer force of Caitlin Clark's fan base.
We had Caitlin Clark here
Caitlin
today.
Clark this morning.
I think
yeah.
you saw that. So she was in yesterday working on her signature shoe.
It's like they say, better late than never, right? Nike has finally decided to mend its ways and give Caitlin the spotlight she's earned. According to Nike's CEO Elliott Hill, Clark was recently at Nike headquarters working on her signature shoe. We had Caitlin Clark here today. Hill told the Fortune magazine recently in an interview
That will launch, and we're working on her logo and her design of her logo.
He also stated, and I quote, "She was in yesterday working on her signature shoe that will launch. We're working on her logo and her design." Well, 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 look who's finally paying attention. It's almost like Nike realized that ignoring the most electrifying player in women's basketball wasn't the best business move. Who would have thought?
She signed an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal with Nike in April of last year, making it the largest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. What was the motivation behind that, and what impact do you think it'll have on women's sports, certainly on the WNBA?
Let me remind you, Nike had signed a whopping $28 million deal for 8 years with Caitlin Clark. And this grand deal also included a brand new signature shoe for Clark. It is interesting to mention that many people were not happy with the deal amount, saying that it was too low for a generational player like Caitlin Clark.
Steph Curry's is more, Wemby's is more. This is $28 million for 8 years is nothing.
Additionally, Nike's CEO also clarified the stance of his company and what this shoe might mean looking ahead into the future of women's sports.
When we were running just basketball, we never got to the women's opportunity. But by having this small team that's focused on women's basketball, it unlocked, we believe, opportunities for the game of basketball, but also in product.
This is what the CEO of Nike had to say about Clark's shoes. "When we were running just basketball, we never got to the women's opportunity. By having a small team that's focused on women's basketball, it unlocked, we believe, opportunities for the game of basketball and also in product." Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why did it take Nike so long to give Caitlin her own shoe? I mean, this is a player who's been breaking records and bringing in fans like no one else. She's the reason women's basketball is reaching new heights, and yet Nike seemed to be dragging its feet. It's almost like they needed a little push, or in this case, a full-blown boycott from Caitlin's fans to finally get the message. And boy, did they get the message.
So this has been called the biggest marketing fumble. This is one of those things that I personally just did not understand, because the excuse was that it takes all this time, and I do understand how it takes time, but LeBron James, he had his shoe in his rookie year. Steph Curry with Under Armour, he had his shoe, I think, within a year.
That's correct. Nike has said that it takes time to release a shoe. We get it, Nike. But how much? If we look back in time, LeBron already had a signature shoe in his rookie season, and Steph Curry as well. This time, Nike had fumbled the ball and forgot one thing: Clark's diehard fans. The pressure from Clark's supporters was so intense that Nike had no choice but to act. It's like they finally woke up from a long nap and realized, oh right, Caitlin Clark exists. Maybe we should do something about that.
It becomes an opportunity to grow the overall marketplace by inviting more and more girls into the world of sport. It is an area that we'll continue to invest in, and we see tremendous momentum right now.
It looks like Nike had finally woken from their long slumber, as their CEO has stated these words. It becomes an opportunity to grow the overall marketplace by inviting more and more girls into the world of sports. It is an area we'll continue to invest in with tremendous momentum right now. But let's not give Nike too much credit here. This isn't some grand gesture of goodwill. It's a business move. Plain and simple. Caitlin Clark is a goldmine, and Nike knows it. Her rise to superstardom has been nothing short of meteoric, and her influence extends far beyond the basketball court.
So yeah, apparently LeBron James's 7-year deal was $87 million. And I wouldn't expect Caitlin's to be on that level. I think now it would definitely be more like on that level, but before she had come into the league and shown that she can keep up and exceed the expectations and show what kind of a following she actually has and how she is just such a generational, once-in-a-lifetime player, I get why it wasn't $87 million.
Clark is not just a player, she's a brand. And now, finally, Nike is ready to cash in on that brand. Better late than never, I guess. And let's not forget that other brands are also stepping up. Breanna Stewart has her Puma collection, and Angel Reese is scheduled to launch a Reebok line in 2026. But let's be real, Caitlin Clark's shoe is the one everyone's been waiting for. The anticipation is already through the roof, and the moment those shoes drop, they're going to sell out like hotcakes.
And when you are in marketing, you look at the upward tick of what's trending, and it had been trending. It had been trending for years. I mean, Caitlin Clark had been like a name that people were talking about for years in college.
The good news is that Caitlin's shoe is finally happening, and it's going to be epic. The design is still in development, but you can bet it's going to reflect her unique style and personality. And let's not forget the impact this shoe is going to have on the WNBA and women's basketball as a whole. Her success on the court has brought a whole new level of attention to the league, and her signature shoe is going to take that to the next level. It's going to inspire young girls everywhere to dream big and work hard, knowing that they too can achieve greatness. And that's the real power of Caitlin Clark. She's not just changing the game, she's changing the culture. So, Nike, congratulations on finally getting your act together. Caitlin Clark's signature shoe is long overdue, but at least it's happening. And to Caitlin's fans, pat yourselves on the back. Your relentless support and unwavering loyalty have paid off. The Caitlin Clark shoe is coming, and it's going to be legendary. So what do you think? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.